No rules when you come out my way. That's why my field stays packed on Fridays. We hunting, fishing, good living, just soaking up every country second we're giving. Yeah, we a long way away from the highway, so go ahead, y'all, you can get sideways. Smoking, sipping, dip spitting, just soaking up every country second you're giving.
So, guys, today we're doing a podcast that we have been trying to put together for a long, long time. I sent a Hail Mary on Monday or Tuesday. Today is Thursday to Mr. Brandon Raphael with the Macon Bacon, hoping and praying that we could do a podcast before the season starts.
And here we are.
Here we are, baby. We've got Mr. Brandon Raphael with us. How you doing, Mr. Brandon?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. What a beautiful day.
It is a gorgeous day, and that's what you want when you go to the ballpark. A gorgeous day with a lot of sunshine and people just having a great time.
Yeah, and you all look great in your jerseys, by the way.
Thank you.
Look at that, man. Macon Bacon. What y'all know about that, man? That's navy blue. Ooh-wee. Man, the good stuff.
Got the Macon Bacon jersey. Number one, baby, number one.
Oh, yeah. So I know you guys are hearing the train horns in the background. We're going authentic for y'all, man. We're going to do it. We're going to do it down here by the field. We had the option to be in the air conditioned, and I went with this. And so blame it on me if during the podcast it gets a little fuzzy and grainy, but it's my fault. But, man, we're down here on the field, y'all. Well, at Macon Bacon State, Luther Williams Field. This is
when
awesome.
You come to Luther Williams Field or any ballpark, you don't want to be inside. You want to be out here.
That's for sure. I mean, it doesn't get any more authentic as that. I mean, obviously, got the train in the background, but we're getting ready for the season, and this ballpark is just so incredibly historic, and we love it.
Right. Oh yeah,
it is. This ballpark has been here how long?
So this is 96 years this summer. It's the second oldest minor league ballpark in the country.
Wow.
Next to Rickwood Field, which is in Birmingham, Alabama. Where Major League Baseball had a game this last year there. That was really cool.
Okay.
But we're the second. And even though we're college summer ball now, 75 of the 95 years, it was known as a minor league baseball team, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, so the Macon Bacon's been here now how many years?
This will be our 8th season.
Man, that is great. And you guys, you just re-upped, like in the last year or two, re-upped the contract for the stadium for, what, 10 years?
Yes, sir, yeah. So we brought in a new ownership group, which includes me,
right.
Which is pretty cool. And purchased a team from my business partner. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, you think about this ballpark's been around here for so long, and we love our history here, and we love to talk about the history today if that's something you want to talk about. But it's we signed a 10-year lease extension with the county to ensure we still have 3 years left, so we're going to be here at least for another 13 years.
Right.
And so
that's fantastic.
Really amazing.
That's what people love to hear, man, is just stability, and I think you guys, it speaks for itself. When you come out here, it's always a sold-out crowd. Everybody's having a good time. I mean, you can just count on it every single time. We've never been down here and not had a great time at the Macon Bacon game. My daughter loves it.
It's that's what it is, family-friendly entertainment. Come out, watch some great baseball, college, summer ball kids that are looking to get to that next level. And, that's what it's all about is, watching them run on every ground ball, diving for the balls in the outfield. You don't see that a lot anymore. And then, the entertainment and our 7-foot-tall piece of bacon mascot, Kevin Bacon.
We love Kevin.
We love Kevin.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, no doubt. So, I mean, taking back, and so, I don't know a whole lot about your history and where you come from, but what kind of started leading you into getting involved with summer baseball or minor baseball? What started that?
Well, to make a long story short, so I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised. Played baseball growing up. In high school, played baseball and racquetball, which is kind of cool. And so I had aspirations to continue that. And so I actually had an opportunity to play college baseball at Maryville University in St. Louis, not too far away from where I grew up.
Oh, yeah.
And had a great 4-year career there. Loved every second of it. Got a great education. And I had aspirations to continue playing baseball. So my last game of my senior year, there was a scout from the Mets and the Phillies that were out there watching. And, they didn't stay to the end of the game. So that was a pretty good sign that maybe this isn't going to work out. It broke my heart. So next best thing, I wanted to work in baseball.
Right.
Now, growing up, and so that was in the year 2000 when I graduated college. there wasn't the same resources that these kids in college are getting now with resume building and interviewing skills. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. And so I started reaching out to, I want to work for the Cardinals.
Right.
Like, I did a couple internships while I was in college, and they're like, yeah, right, that's not going to happen. And so I started reaching out to some other people and found this company in Las Vegas that owned multiple minor league baseball teams. And on a whim, I applied for it, and I got a call. I had a phone interview, and then they invited me in for an on-site interview, which was crazy. 23 years old, going to an interview in Las Vegas.
Oh man,
that was crazy. That was the craziest thing I've ever done. Well, actually, maybe the second craziest thing I've ever done because I ended up getting a job and I moved there. But I'll never forget. I met with Amy Venuto, who was the director of ticket sales at the time, and still a good friend. We talk all the time, and so if she's listening to this, she'll remember the story. But I did the interview, and I'm finished up, and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna get back to you." So wait a minute, I paid my own way to get down here because back then you paid your own way for
Right.
I stayed in a hotel, lost $200 playing blackjack last night. I am not leaving until I get this job.
Right.
And she's like, well, that's just not how it works. And I'm like, well, okay, well, did I get the job? And I said, I'm not leaving until I get the job.
Right.
I was that determined. I said, I'm here till tomorrow. And the next day she called and said, the job is yours. So I flew back, and as a 23-year-old, I moved to Las Vegas, that's the craziest thing I've ever done in Las Vegas. And I went to work for the Las Vegas 51s, which are their AAA for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was truly amazing experience. And that's where I learned how to sell tickets and how it all started.
Right.
26-year career in sports started in Las Vegas. And, it's just crazy how things work out. So the executive vice president of that company is a gentleman named Steve DeLay, who 15 years later, bought the Macon Bacon, calls me and asked me to come run it for him. And that's how I got here.
That's how you got to Macon.
So a lot of things in between that. So minor league baseball for 6 years, Major League Soccer for a couple of years, college athletics for 10 years. And he called me up in 2018 and said, I'm buying this team. Come run it. This is your dream come true.
There you go.
I said, nope.
Oh, no.
I said, I had a great life in college athletics, but things changed. A year later, the athletic director where I was at got fired, and it was the right time, the right place, and
right.
And then we ended up buying another team together in Florence, South Carolina, that are now the Florence Flamingos.
Flamingos, okay.
And then fast forward, that was in 2020. Fast forward to this last year, he wants to retire, and so we sold Florence, and I bought the team here with some others that are from the area, and here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Long story
Beautiful
short, I kind
ballpark.
of made it a little bit longer.
No,
Hey,
it
no,
was
that's
a great
it.
story. A great story. I would have trouble getting rid of a team called the Flamingos, though.
And we're all pink. It was great.
I would have to keep that team.
Yes, it was.
But I
awesome.
understand that, you can spread yourself a little thin.
Yeah, that's about 4.5 hour drive. So he lived in Charlotte, so it was easier for him to come down and be a part of that. I went there a couple times a year, but this is my baby. I love this community. I love this team. I love this ballpark. It really doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, and I mean, so the league you guys play in is called the Southern
Coastal Plain League.
Coastal Plain League. Okay, so a lot of whatever you want to call semi-pro, teams and stuff. They don't have the draw you guys have, but it seems like everybody in that league has amazing draw at their facilities, even launching one to world stardom out of Savannah, right?
Yeah.
They were in that league, right?
Who's that? I don't know.
Exactly. We don't know who those are. My bad. That's a cuss word. I'm down here on third base line, and Luther Williams talking and saying bananas, man. Oh man.
No, it's interesting because this ballpark has seen so many amazing teams that have come through here. I mean, you think about the Macon Peaches for the longest time,
Right.
The Macon Braves that were here in the 1990s and early 2000s. They left in 2002. And then between 2002 and 2018, when we came in, there was a couple of teams that came and left in the dark of the night. The Macon Peaches, the Macon Music, the Macon Pine Toppers didn't ever really survive. You got to have a business plan. And so when we came here, there was a little bit trepidatious of like, okay, is this going to be another team that's going to come and just leave us hanging? But we have had a plan. We've had 30 years in the company that I was working for that just revolves around entertainment, revolves around all you can eat food packages, and really the focus on the fan.
Right.
And so Coastal Plain League has been around for nearly 30 years. We're the only team in Georgia. There used to be a team in Georgia, a team formerly known as the Savannah Bananas. They were in our league before they started doing all their crazy barnstorm and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And and then you got South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. So we travel all over the Southeast when we play our games because they're playing home, and then we're also on the road.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it's a testimony to believing in something when you start seeing these big companies, U.S. Foods and Tractor Supply, We Care Heating and Air. Throughout the years, all these people buy in on it. Not only do they believe in it, but then their employees believe in it. The community starts to believe in it. It starts a good, a stable foundation. And you guys have absolutely taken advantage of that and shot it up to the next level. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people that wish they could get just to where you are, and you're looking out 10 years trying to figure out how big you can make this thing. There's a lot of people praying they can just get here. This is an extreme success right now.
Well, I appreciate that. We focus on our fans and our community. That's what it's all about. If without them, we're not here.
Right.
It doesn't exist. So from the very beginning, it was how do we get out in the community?
Right.
How do we give back to the community through donations and other things? And with our partnerships, it's great that organizations want to invest, but they all have exclusivities. And again, our all you can eat ticket packages. It's a foundation that we've had for a long time, and a lot of teams have followed that suit in our league and in others. We have 3,193 as our capacity, 3,193 seats. We average north of 2,600 fans a game, which puts us tops in our league by far.
Yes.
And top 10-ish in the country in college summer ball. And everyone's like, what's college summer ball? How does this thing even work? And, there's about 170 teams throughout North America. A lot of people that are probably even listening to this, they probably have a college summer ball team close to them. They just don't have that thought process. So we run it like a true minor league baseball team. Just the difference is we don't have Major League Baseball players or affiliated ball players that are playing with us. And Major League Baseball doesn't really tell us what to do. They have a strong hold on minor league baseball teams and very specific ways you got to do things.
Right.
So we could stop the game in the middle of the game and have a kid that's stricken with childhood illness running the bases, and our fans go crazy and the team go crazy. We can do things like that because, again, the focus is on the fans, and that's what really college summer ball is all about.
Oh, yeah.
And baseball is certainly more than about the game. It's so much more than the game. It's the food. It's the things like you're talking about, like making a dream for a child come true. And, I mean, there are just so many things that baseball is about because it is the all-American sport. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
And so we love our baseball here. So, and that's the biggest thing. Like, it can't be, and that's the thing it's been for years with the other companies I've worked for, is it can't be just about the game on the field. The entertainment value you have to look at. And so we love our baseball. So we believe we have a perfect balance between the baseball side, the entertainment side. So you're going to see the skits in between innings. You're going to see Kevin, our mascot, doing his thing. But then the baseball is going on, and these college ball players are really working on trying to get to the next level. And that's why they come here for the summer, is an opportunity to stay with host families, which is really cool. And what a great opportunity for them to be seen. And most of them have never played in front of crowds like we have here.
Right.
Playing in front of 3,000 people. It's pretty cool for them to see, and then getting to ask for autographs after every single game. The entire team goes inside, signs autographs. And it's really something special to see these guys not just get that experience, but also knowing that they're changing the lives. And that's what we do is we are in the memory making business.
Mm-hmm.
You think about our experiences as young adults or as children. A lot of the best experiences you think of revolved around a sporting event.
Oh yeah,
and it's kind of crazy to think that we're helping some of these people who are coming to games make memories that are going to last a lifetime.
Well, you're making memories for the fans, but I witnessed something happen. You're making memories for the boys too. And I the first time I ever brought my daughter Aspen to a game, she asked for one of their autographs over there. And you could tell that his grandma had somehow made it here. She was very, very sick. She was in a wheelchair. And she watched him give that autograph to Aspen, and she broke down in tears.
Aww.
And so that's something that grandma will never forget, watching her son or grandson give an autograph, and so you're instilling some stuff in those guys that, they might not ever go play in front of 40, 50,000 people, but this is pretty awesome right here. Like you said, biggest crowd they've ever played in front of. And I think, you're planting seeds in their lives too, and they're planting them in Central Georgia's lives. It's a big deal, man.
It's awesome, and it's great when we get to have them also give back, take them to the Children's Hospital. We build houses with Habitat for Humanity, and that's the thought process we have is we are the community's team. We're very fortunate to be here in Macon Bibb County, but our fans are coming from all over. So a sports team of our size is going to be maybe like 30, 35 miles. As you're going to see that. We're sitting at about 80.
Wow.
That's great.
And it's super awesome because, and it's not boasting what it is, we're very proud of it.
Right.
Because we do want to give back. And we ended up giving back almost $600,000 last year in donated product and donations back to our community because of what we do in our games. You know, and you know, if an opposing player strikes out, First Quality is donating a case of diapers to Mother's Nest, which is a local organization here that helps mothers get back on their feet after birth. And so we do that. We had about 19 organizations this last year that we worked with. And that's the stuff that when you start thinking about impact, you start thinking about making a difference.
Yes.
When you hear about that 240,000 diapers were donated, or 9,000 pounds of pet food, or whatever it was, scholarships for women at Wesleyan College. I mean, all these different things, going to cancer research. It's almost breathtaking to think about that. We can truly make a difference together and with our fans and everybody that's coming to the games.
Oh yeah.
A huge difference too. That's a lot.
Yeah. That's a lot
that
of fun.
you gave back.
So hopefully, our goal this year is to get to 1 million. That'd be super awesome.
That would be, yeah. I mean, and it's a doable thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you said your average tickets are 2,600 out of a 3,300 capacity. You got what, 500 or 600 more seats per game that you can increase?
We can keep it going.
There it is.
We are not going to rest.
It's not
sell
out.
Every ticket to every single game.
There you go. And then it might be time to build on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's right. Build a second level here to the party deck.
Oh, yeah.
When does the season start?
So season for college summer ball is typically going to be end of May to beginning of August, because you think about they're all playing their baseball at their college or university right now, and then they're going to come here at the end of May. So May 31st is our home opener. We start on the road on May 28th and 29th, or 29th and 30th, one of those. And then on the 31st, we'll start our home opener here with fireworks and everything in between. But so they'll play here for the summer, and then when August comes around, they got to go back to school.
Here's a question. How do I get selected to be a part of the Macon Bacon?
Great question.
Yes.
I mean, I know that you're not going to select me, but
I haven't seen her swing yet.
What would be the process?
They say she's got an arm on her.
So that's a great question. So most college summer ball teams, like I mentioned, there's about 170 in North America. They do the recruiting through their coaches. So most Division I college baseball programs have an assistant coach that's dedicated to summer placement. Most of them are asked to go play summer somewhere. Now, if their arm is hurt or they're tired or they had a really tough spring, they may not. But we're going to have, so our coaches do all the recruiting. And same thing with the other leagues. Now, in our league, we're one of the top 3 or 4 leagues in the country from a talent perspective.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like I said, there's leagues all over that might be more regional based. Our kids are coming from all over the country, California to New York to, there's some in Georgia as well, everywhere in between. And so the coaches will start the recruiting process right when the season ends in August. By November, we're pretty full.
Right.
We'll have our roster pretty much set. Then we'll go into the spring, and some guys will change up, might hurt their arm, might decide that they aren't going to play, and that happens a little bit towards the end of May, and when the guys are getting ready to get here, which they'll be here in about 2 weeks. So it's truly amazing to see how it all works, and they build a relationship with these programs and these other coaches, and then the next year they're like, okay, the University of Georgia said, okay, I got 2 guys for you, or wherever it is, or Texas A&M, or any schools in between. And these guys are, like I said, they're coming here for the summer, opportunity to get some at-bats, throw some innings, meet some great people. Their host families end up becoming lifelong friends. It's truly amazing, the whole experience.
And the host families, how are they selected? They're volunteers, I assume.
They're volunteers. They get an adopted son or sons, depending on how many rooms they have. They're we do visits. We've had some host families that have been with us for instance, the very first year. And we have a core of about 25 of them that continually come back. We need about 32 each year. And so we'll have some that will reach out and how does this work? And we'll do a home visit, explain to them. They can be as involved as they want. There's some great stories out there about guys that played college summer ball and how they became lifelong friends. And so we have, host families that will follow their adopted sons and go watch them play at their college or university, wherever that might be. Russell Wilson, who plays for, is he with the Broncos? No, who's he with? No, he was with the Steelers. Okay.
Yeah.
I know he changed around. But when he played baseball at NC State, that's where he went to college. He played baseball there, and he still keeps in touch. He talks about he still keeps in touch with his host family because he played in our league, in the Coastal Plain League, when he back when he was in college.
Wow. So I guess they come in, these host families, they'll bring them in, they house them, feed them, maybe financially support them some, that kind of thing. It's just something that they believe in and want to do to help Macon be a better place and to
help the kids.
out,
Yeah,
right?
because they need a place to stay, so they'll feed them, they'll take care of them. Some cases, the guys might not have a car, so they'll help them get to where they need to get to. The interesting thing that you think about this with everything that's going on in college sports right now, so there's no NIL deals. They're not getting paid to play here. That's truly a volunteer experience. And same thing with the host families. Now, they're getting tickets to the games and watch their kids play, but it's all about that experience and the opportunity to get to the next level. And the number of scouts that are following us and watching, we have all the TrackMan and all the data and everything that they have, but they're just getting that chance to get to the next level. And we've had several guys. We've had well over 20 or 30 players in our 8 years that have been signed by major league teams, about average of 4 or 5 a year. And we've had one that has made it to the major leagues. His name's Frazier Ellard. He plays for Chicago White Sox. Awesome. That was our first one. He got called up last year, and so hoping for a few more this year. It's pretty cool thought process to think about that. You
never know who you got right there in front of you.
I know.
You absolutely don't know. Yeah, with the heart that it takes to be a host family, I'm sure there's no telling how many people or how many of these boys have come to town and they didn't have a car, didn't have this, that, and other. And when it was time to go home, they drove out of here in a car. I'm sure there's that those kind of stories happen behind the scenes and that kind of thing. And, it just takes a certain heart, a certain person, a certain mind to be able to do that. To bring strangers into your home, pour into them for a summer, and I'm sure they meet some needs for these boys that, it would astonish us if we heard some of the stories.
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
You think about they're coming from all different backgrounds.
Yes.
You have some that come from, where they're well taken care of, and others that were, they didn't grow up that way. And hearing that, these adopted moms and dads or whatever, that they truly build a great relationship, and seeing how, then their families come in for a game and they all get to know each other. It's a very heartwarming thing.
It is.
And think about it, like you said earlier, it's baseball.
Right.
Like, it's truly amazing sport, and what it brings a community together. It brings people together, and there's just something about sitting in the stands and listening to that crack of the bat and talking to your friends. And, I said, we love it here. We love the organization. We love where we're at in Macon-Bibb County, and it's a lot of fun to come to this ballpark every day, especially with the history.
Oh, yeah.
About how historic this ballpark is.
Yeah, because this ballpark has seen a lot of things. Like you said, many, many teams, movies have been made here. Just a lot of stuff. Concerts have been held here. Just a lot of stuff.
It's been a lot of stuff. So you think about 96 years of history. Of that, about 75 years of baseball. And that's how we're the second oldest minor league team here, because 75 to 95 years is known as a minor league team. But you think about, so for Braves fans around here, they love that Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones started their minor league careers here, which is really cool. I did not grow up with Braves fans, but I definitely know who Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones are.
There you go.
You've got Pete Rose's first and only year minor league baseball was here in 1962. The next year he gets called up to Cincinnati Reds. We all know what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's pretty cool to see that. And that was the last championship team that was here, the 1962 Macon Peaches, prior to when we won the championship in 2020 as in Macon Bacon. So that was a long time in between that. But you have players like Ted Williams, Hank Aaron, Joe DiMaggio that all played games here in the 1950s. The most historic story of them all is Jackie Robinson. There's no doubt about that. So Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier for Major League Baseball in 1947. 2 years later, he did it here for the state of Georgia and playing in an exhibition game against the Macon Peaches.
Really?
And you think about that. How
so Jackie Robinson's played here in this ballpark.
Right here in this
ballpark.
It's truly amazing, the history. And then the movie 42, the story about him, part of that was filmed here.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why it was filmed here was because of the connection to Georgia that he has, and his family being in Cairo, a couple hours south of here. And so you've got that. You've got Trouble with the Curve with Amy Adams, Justin Timberlake, and Clint Eastwood. That was filmed here. Brockmire, the first season of Brockmire, a lot of people hadn't seen it, but it was a Hulu show with Hank Azaria. That was filmed up in a press box, which is crazy. And then you've got a 1970s flick with James Earl Jones, Richard Pryor, and Billy D. Williams. Just at the time that James Earl Jones was doing Darth Vader for Star Wars, that was filmed here. You can actually go watch that on YouTube. But it's called Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars.
I remember that.
I have a great uncle or something that's sitting in the stands, and he's got a 5-second little piece where he leans over and he spits a big old chew of tobacco out on the ground, and that was his claim to fame. Bingo along in the Traveling All Stars.
Yeah, so it's cool. And there's been other movies, and there was a commercial, a General Electric commercial that was filmed here last year. You couldn't tell that was Luther Williams Field, but they did a commercial that was aired in every Major League Baseball broadcast. It was highlighting the first time lights were turned on for night baseball, and that was filmed here. It's just cool. It's a cool ballpark, and like I said, we love our baseball, we love our history, and we got it all over the ballpark. Obviously, the signage and everything.
Well, not only the public bought into it, but I can remember, and I just caught bits and pieces of it. But I think right when you guys got your feet under you here, you started having people pass out in the stands and stuff, and it was hot. And I remember you asked for these fans up here, right? Was that you? That you approached the leadership, and I'm sitting there thinking, because the name of them are Big Ass Fans, and I was sitting there thinking,
on there.
They better buy the bacon, those Big Ass Fans, because this is the best thing that's going on in this ballpark in a long time.
So that's one thing that we got is with the old facade and just some of those hot, still nights here in Georgia when it's 94 degrees.
Right.
There's no airflow. Went to the county and said it's just the one thing that's missing. And so I'm in the commission meeting and I'm having to pitch the idea to them. And they said, well, "What's the name of the company?" And those are broadcasted.
Right.
And I said, I don't even know if I can say it. Like, well, let's go ahead and say it. I'm like, all right, Big Ass Fans.
Right.
And they start laughing. And I said, well, have you spoken to any other companies? Yes, we got another quote from another one. What's the name of that one? It was their competitor, Humongous Fans. It was great. But yeah, luckily it just moves some.
Oh man, it changed to what, 15, 20 degrees? I think I've got them on the front porch at the Dairy Queen and Gray. They're wonderful.
Yeah, you do.
They are proud of them, but they are wonderful.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to put it.
But yeah, when the city believes in something, they pour into it. They believe in it, and the community believes in it. It's just a winning recipe. I mean, it's something bound and determined that something's going to happen good.
Yeah, and it started from the very beginning. I mean, with the former mayor that was here, he wanted to bring baseball back, and so Steve, my business partner, really worked with him on doing that. And the city put about $2.5 million into the ballpark to get it ready for baseball again. So everything outside the dugouts was all new. So back when the Macon Braves were here, these other teams, they didn't have these hospitality areas. So we have something for everybody. We have a party deck. We have an area that suites to be able to serve everybody. And,
Right.
It's just a really special place.
And over the period of time, I mean, it's Lester put that amphitheater out there in the middle, Lester and then the leadership.
Yep.
They put the amphitheater out there with the thought of neighborhood revitalization, because it kind of happened here in its own way. I mean, those ball fields over here, the softball fields, those were the glory days 20 years ago. I mean, you wasn't nobody if you wasn't down here playing softball, but then they just got outdated, whatever. Now they're more beautiful than I believe they've ever been in my 38 years. Them are some awesome looking fields over there now. So, they started believing in this and start believing in things around it. The Central City Park is just, manicured better than I can remember it. I'm sure it had its heyday too, but it's just when something happens good in an area, it kind of spreads like wildfire. And you guys are making it happen down here.
And that's the whole idea of it. It's about community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as a sports organization, you have a responsibility to your community,
right,
to give back, be involved, and it's part of the revitalization of downtown. I mean, we're not even a mile away from downtown, and so why wouldn't we be part of that as well? And it's about being very close to the leaders and the government. And I hear many horror stories from other people that are in our league or others that they don't have a great relationship with their city government.
Right.
We do, and we're very fortunate for Mayor Miller and for his commission and for the commission prior to that with Mayor Rickard. That's where it starts, is having that support, because this ballpark is 96 years old.
Right.
So it does need improvement.
All the time.
It has to be improved upon.
It has to be improved upon, and things break and things leak and everything in between. So we're very fortunate to have that relationship with them, and anything that we need, usually gets done. So
how do sponsors or host families or just somebody who wants to buy a ticket, what's the best way for that to happen?
So start with the ticket side of it. So all of our ticket packages, whether it's 5-game plan or a 10-game plan or full season, and Justin, this.
Oh yeah,
have tickets.
Oh yeah,
very fortunate to have Dairy Queen is a great a friend of ours. Is everything comes with all you can eat. So all you can eat hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, soda water, cookies, and chips. Your heart desires for the entire games. We never stop it. A lot of people do all you can eat. Seventh inning, like, okay, the ninth inning, you want to go get 7 hot dogs?
Right.
Get 7 hot dogs. There's many people have tried to eat us out of the ballpark, haven't succeeded yet. I think our record is 14 or 15 hot dogs in a game.
Wow.
So, but that's cool. So from a ticket plan perspective, you're getting that. From a group perspective, you're also getting that all you can eat experience, whether you're in a hospitality area or you just bring your church out for 20 tickets. So those tickets all start at $17.
And that includes all the food and everything.
And the ticket.
I mean,
yeah, and our church has done that several times. I mean,
Yeah.
we've brought groups of people, and that is part of the, well, you're going to get your hot dog, you're going to get your drink, you're going to get the ticket. I mean,
well, yeah, that's my old mentor. So Steve's boss and my boss back in the Mandalay sports days, John Spolstra is considered the godfather of sports marketing. He came up with the all-you-can-eat packages. And so a long time ago, we were doing all you can eat. But the thought process is whether you're a business or you're bringing people out, leave your wallet at home.
right.
If you want to buy a beer or a pretzel or something, you can. But really, you have an opportunity because you think about this. Even if someone gives you tickets to a sporting event, let's just say the Braves. Well, thank you for the free tickets, but I just paid $30 a park.
Yeah.
I brought my kids. We spent $100, $200 on food. Had to go to the team store and get something. Before you know, those free tickets end up costing you $200, $300.
yes.
So with a lot of people here in Macon Bacon County, they're they're working hourly or they own a business. Doesn't matter. Leave your wallet at home. Come to the game. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy a couple hours of baseball. We'll entertain you and have some fun. So that's on the one side, the ticket side. On our sponsorship side, which we call partnerships, which we sell out of a lot of our ticket packages and our partnerships every year. They're all exclusive. So if a business is interested in partnering with us, we'd love to chat with you about it, but we're sold out pretty much. But we have exclusivities across the board. And so they're getting some tickets, but they're getting the opportunity to be involved with the community. And that big community engagement piece, as I was talking about earlier, is important that we give all of our partners opportunity to have a community initiative.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, and I mean, it's a waiting list to do it. So, guys, I'm going to kind of pan right here and show you on the podcast. But those tables sitting right here behind Laura, those are the most expensive seat in the house. Okay, and then this right here is the next best seat in the house, most expensive seat. I've been on the waiting list for 4 years trying to get right there.
Trying to get right there?
I'm trying to get from right there to right
here.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, and I've been on the waiting list for 4 years. That's how established this has became. I mean, it's a hot ticket, and they're not giving those seats up. And even if they're not there that night, they're holding on to those because they know what a commodity those seats are. So, I mean, if you're listening and you got a business and you're looking to get involved, and they do have a spot for you to jump on at some point, you better get in.
Yeah, that's right.
You better get in.
Well, we appreciate it. Things really, I mean, we've always been, popular here in the community, but things really went crazy a couple years ago, if you remember, with the whole that doctor group.
Oh, yeah.
So for those that don't know, so there was a doctor group / animal rights group that sent us a letter asking us to change our name because apparently we're glorifying bacon in the eyes of our fans, giving them an opportunity to, a life of colorectal cancer, which obviously we're very conscious of, our health and fitness here and what we promote. But they tried to get us to change our name. They wanted us to change our name. They've done it. They tried to do it to some other teams. So they sent a letter. I really didn't think anything of it. I thought it was a joke. And then they put a billboard up in Macon. Said, Macon, keep bacon off your plate with skull and crossbones. The crossbones were
Man.
Great logo, by the way.
Yeah.
I was super surprised. And then about 2 weeks later, I get a call from Jeff Cox over at WGXA, a good friend, said, hey, we got this letter from this group that is asking you to change your name. Do you want to comment on it? I said, well, I guess I have to comment on it now.
Right.
And so we just basically said, we're not going to change your name. We love our bacon. We love our team. Thank you, but no thank you.
Right.
And by that evening, it had reached the Associated Press. It had reached the next morning. I'm getting a call from Fox News National to be on Fox and Friends in the morning. I was on national TV 3 times in a matter of a week. But what ended up happening is, think about you think about the tickets and our merchandise, and it was really cool to see. So we ended up having about 600 merchandise orders in a matter of about 2 weeks
Online.
from people all over the world saying, we want to support you.
Yes.
This cancel culture that we're all under. I mean, I didn't make a statement for that reason.
Yeah.
I said, well, we're not going to change our name. They want to change our name to Macon Bacon, which was kind of funny. But we love our community, and we said we're not going to back down. Like, why would we change our name just because we're not glorifying bacon? We love our bacon here, but we're in Georgia. Like, come on. And so it was pretty crazy, and we already had sold merchandise all over the world, which is pretty cool. It's just a cool logo, and we have a lot of fun with it. But that was probably one of the craziest times of my 26-year career in sports, is having to answer.
Oh yeah,
about bacon.
Any publicity is good publicity most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
That was a crazy time. But you know what? It goes back to our love for our community and our fans, because I stand out front every single game, shaking hands, saying hello to people. We're at the gates after every single game, saying goodbye to people as they go. And it's that focus on why we're really here.
Absolutely.
We're here for the folks that want to come to our games and that follow us online. And of course, we're a business at the end of the day, but it's really that without our fans, we're not here. So it doesn't.
And that's why you're successful, because you're a hands-on owner. Yep. Just like Justin is at Dairy Queen. If you drive through Dairy Queen, he's probably out there with this little pad taking your order.
Doing what I can.
Saying, how we doing?
Yeah.
That's his,
I want to know.
And you do want to know. You want to know what your customers think, what your patrons think when they come to the baseball game. And I guarantee you, people are very vocal. They'll tell you if something's wrong, won't they?
They will. They don't tell you as many times when something's right, but we do get some of that. But
But I bet you don't get a lot, because you probably don't do anything wrong.
We'd never do anything wrong. Never. I wish, but but it is. I mean, we want that feedback, and so we have 9 full-time staff members here, and they are amazing.
Right.
We bring in 16-ish interns for the summer from all over the country that really want to get that hands-on experience, and 100, 150 game day teammates that are working in concession stand. And it's that thought process and realizing that that's the number one thing that we talk about every year is, why are we here? And what are we standing for? We're creating memories. We are building a community, and it's so important for us to keep that focus, because there's going to be that time when it's 97 degrees outside, your temperature's going to be a little hot, customer's not happy about something. Just don't forget why we're here.
Right.
And that's the most important thing.
That's good stuff, man. That'll preach.
My boss's son did a internship last summer. I think it was last summer, where he was, I don't know if you call it an internship, but he worked so many games during the summer and loved it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So have you had any kind of people that maybe had tried to come in and buy you guys out? I mean, does that kind of thing happen with this?
It does. And that's how we sold our Florence team, from an individual that really wanted to help take it to the next level. And so there's always going to be people that are looking at you, especially when we've had the success we've had and the fanship that we have. There's a lot of teams in our league and others that probably aren't drawing as well. And but we, like I said, we run this like a true minor league team. It's just a little bit different. So there's a lot of organizations that want to get into college summer ball because of you don't pay the players. You think about minor league hockey, minor league baseball. There's the salaries and things like that you've got to do. So it's a great business model. So people have really started to flock to it, and everybody kind of like, how cool would it be to own a sports team?
Right.
There's a lot of work that goes into it. We run the business operations, and we have we have a budget. We have 9 full-time staff members that are doing ticket sales or partnerships or merchandise operations, everything in between. And it's about having a business plan.
Right.
It doesn't that owning a business.
Yep, absolutely.
That you can't just open up your doors and pray that people come.
Well, I think excellence starts from the top, and I know you've been over the Bacon since what you said 18, and when you guys reorganized and bought it, I'm sure that there was a thought process that you needed excellent owners along with you, an excellent team. And I only know one of them, one of the other guys, and that's Jonathan Pitts out of Jones County, longtime friend of mine. And he is an excellent gentleman as well. And so I'm sure that you got a group of like-minded people. I don't know if they're all men or whatever, but you got a group of like-minded people making good decisions with a good organization in a good city supporting a good thing. You can't go wrong.
Right. Thank you. So we bought the team last year from Steve, and I'd worked on it for about a year because I knew that he was ready to start doing so. I told him, I said, we need to look for someone in Florence. But I said, I got it.
Right.
Like, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to let this thing go. So I started working on some local community leaders that really believe in our community and opportunity to take it to the next level.
Right.
And most of them want to be silent partners. I mean, but they want to help out wherever they can. But I got a great group of guys and gals that really wanted to, commit and be a part of this organization, and they already were. So I had a lot of people come to me and said, "Hey, I know someone might be interested." But if I didn't know who they were, I mean, we want to continue the direction we're going.
Right.
I don't want necessarily an ownership group or a board that says, "Hey, maybe we should stop this all you can eat thing," or
Right.
maybe you should consider doing this or doing that. And so we wanted to keep things rolling, and that was the promise I had to our mayor, that nothing's going to change.
Right.
We're going to keep this thing rolling. We just have a different group that is put it together, and so we love it, and they're all super supportive.
Yeah, you kept it going the same, man. Most time you see these big companies, they try to fix something that wasn't broken, but they had an answer to fix it, and like you made sure that didn't happen. It didn't need fixing. You just kept pushing it on in the right direction.
We want to grow, and so like I said, we in my life, my life's work is going to be, no doubt that we will not rest until we sell every ticket to every single game.
Right.
And we sell it. We're selling out more than half of our games now, which is awesome. We were very, very appreciative for our fanship, but we want to keep on rolling. And so the ticket sales team is and that's where it starts. It starts with ticket sales. It starts with getting people in the ballpark. A lot of sports teams lead with sponsorships or they'll lead with other things, but it all starts with your fans.
Yes.
And getting them into the ballpark. And we have 4 dedicated ticket sales people that call on businesses and churches and schools and everything else is to support that. Our director of marketing is doing all of our advertising, and it's about how do we get more people to know about us and come be a part of it. Because this for both you, Laura and Justin, like there's so many people moving to Middle Georgia
Yes.
all the time, and so in marketing world, you think about just when you're sick and tired of telling your message over and over and over again, there's someone hearing it for the very first time.
Yep.
Right.
And so we would rather tell our story versus somebody else. So we're going to go out there and make that happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know your time is super valuable for people that don't know. We're, out here on the side of the ball field, of course. But, I mean, there's an artist over here to our left who is, painting from scratch a terrapin turtle on the wall. And there's a lot of work going on. They got tractors and stuff that are ready to hit the field. And I don't want to be holding up progress, but we got like a couple more questions and then we'll get you out of here. And, because we know your time's valuable. But one thing that we always talk about on the podcast is charitable work. Of course you do I've been down here, Beverly Knight Olson Hospital. You do stuff, all that. But even if it didn't have something to do with here in Macon, in your life, what was the biggest charitable event type thing that you were involved in that you can remember that made an impact on your life?
Wow, that is such a great question.
Ooh, man. Good stuff. Meat and
I
potatoes.
don't get stumped very well. So I would say, there's a couple things. So I'd say the work we did this last year was really awesome. And when those things get donated, like it's one thing, donating money, but when you see the actual physical change that it makes.
Yes.
I think the diaper donation was a big part of that last year. Just seeing that, a long time ago, when I worked in Las Vegas. So I guess this is probably the best story I can come up with. We did, and a lot of other sports teams do it. It's called Kids Night Out.
Right.
So you ask some of your ticket holders and community leaders to help donate tickets so underprivileged and underserved communities can come out. So when I was in Las Vegas, long time ago, at a galaxy far away, we had that Kids Night Out program, and I'll never forget. It was my first year. I never even knew anything about it, and it was like 3,000 kids coming out to a Las Vegas 51s game that most of them never been before. They can't afford tickets. They came from the lower income part of Las Vegas. And to see their lights face up when they go on the field and seeing, and it was a whole program. He talked about the importance of doing well in school, an opportunity to go to college and go on to things. But, our fans got behind it. And then you see these kids come into a game that have never been to a game before and seeing them light up. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
That would hit the spot. That would be,
That's good stuff.
especially, like you said, kids who have never seen it before, and because they don't even have the opportunity.
Right.
So making those opportunities for people is super special.
Yeah. And then once you get to this ballpark and you see the history. And like you think about there in Las Vegas, it wasn't as historic as this, but you talked about the history. I mean, the painting of the walls, like, his name's Mackie, he does all, and I don't know if they could see behind us is the outfield walls, the scoreboard, like that's all hand painted. We still have a manual scoreboard out here. Again, it's about honoring those that become before us, and I think that's really important from a community perspective is giving back and honoring those. And I think about that time all the way back in Las Vegas a long time ago. It's really special to think about the impact of that state on those kids' lives.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's two things at a ball field that would drive me crazy anytime I go to them. One, no paper towels in the bathroom. You got to have that. That drives me
That's
nuts.
not just ball fields. That's
anywhere. I cannot stand
That's
walking
anywhere.
in a restaurant and it goes, we're trying to save the environment. Put your hands under this fan. No, you're being cheap. Put some paper towels in that bathroom.
Yep.
But secondly, I don't like going and seeing faded out paint and faded out signs and stuff like that was just left over from a couple of years ago. These signs are all brand new, painted. They might be the same, sponsors, but they're nice and clean and bright and ready to go. I mean, it's done with excellence,
Yeah.
We are at historic Luther Williams Field with Brandon Raphael of the Macon Bacon, and we just thank you for taking so much time with us, and we look forward to seeing you at a game.
Yeah, we love it. Thank you very much for having us. And
We appreciate you.
Awesome ballpark, and it's awesome to have people like you there supporting the organization. And if anybody wants to take a look at us, MaconBaconBaseball.com. But we love our fans, and we'd love to have you out here at the ballpark this summer.
You heard him, MaconBacon.com. Look it up. You can't do anything cheaper than $17 in Central Georgia, especially including a meal. Come check it out. Brandon Raphael, thank you so much. And like with every time before, we want to remind you, if you can do something good, you should do something good. We'll see you next week, guys.